Once upon a time, not so long ago, there was a silly, silly man. The silly, silly man would often reflect on his most favourite day in his whole life. The day he, his girlfriend, and her 2 children went to Cardinal Valley. The children had been before, and in a fever of excitement jumped in the streams with splashes and laughter alongside the silly, silly man. They ran and jumped, for the silly man was really still a child at heart. So wildly weaving from bank to bank, roaring with primal pulses, the silly man took his top off in February. Yes, a silly man. The mother and lover looked on, smiling. She looked so happy on this favourite day, charging through the valleys, marching up the hills. We caught our breath beneath a tree, while Boo took a pee, and Joel started to moan. It was time to go home. One last place to see, the reservoir, and a quick dip, well, naturally, for a silly, silly man. Straw, Joel and Beth laughed at the silly man. He came out freezing but felt so alive, and went back home on the sofa with the other 3, a warm, lovely, content feeling inside. Now, reader, you must understand that only a silly, silly man would ever walk away from such love and joy, and this was such a man. A man that leaves the bed of the most beautiful woman inside and out he had ever seen, known and loved, to sleep downstairs next to a hamster because of the noise in his own head. The silly man went back over Cardinal Valley on his own, running, for he was good at running. Yet no matter how fast and how far he ran, he could not escape the wonderful memories of that day, and many other days besides. So he said to himself, that was my most favourite day of my life, as the memories flashed before his eyes, and tears he did not understand. After all, he was a silly man, but to know it all in his own silly way. So selfishly he carried on, trying to fill the gap where love and care once dwelled. Now lies lived there and breathed their poison, and the silly man thought it reason, so was he compelled. Now the silly man reasoned for a long time that he was glad to have shared that day, but now it was over. So as before he had met the enchanting 3, he would walk in beautiful places with rivers, trees, mountains, and think, this is truly beautiful, but not as beautiful as my favourite day in Cardinal Valley, until eventually one day the penny finally dropped, when he realised what had made it his favourite day was the beautiful company of the enchanted 3.